DSP owners, they need those vans cleaned every month. Like drivers are complaining.
How many vans is it?
I think the most, on average, every DSP owner has at least 30. The most I've seen somebody was 57. And that's a mix between Sprinter vans and box trucks and CDV vans. CDV vans are bigger than Sprinters, but they're smaller than box.
Can you make $1 million?
It's definitely possible. As many Amazon warehouses there are, I believe so.
Is that a goal for you?
The goal right now is just to get another contract. But the bigger picture is to get a contract with some franchises company and be partners with all the Amazons in Georgia, the East Coast, like really scale this. This is scalable. Like,
can you make $1 million?
Absolutely.
In a year?
Absolutely.
You know how much that is every month?
Every month?
Yeah.
Isn't it 800, 900, something like that?
What?
No. I'm sorry. It's, how much is $1 million a year? Every month?
Take your time. 83,000.
83,000.
300. $33.
There you go.
34 cents. $83,000. You know how much that is a week?
No, how much is that a week?
About 20,000. Right now, your efforts, you're maxing out at 3,000.
Mm-hmm.
Got to multiply that by like 7. How you do that? All right, listen, every single week, every episode, you hear me talking about themorningmeetup.com. It's the community. Let me show you what's happening here. Every single morning, Monday through Friday, there's 400 plus people on a Zoom call, right? We're learning, we're talking, we're growing together, and this is you. There's all these people here. It's all these people in the morning meetup. Hundreds of people reading books, growing. We get together quarterly. It's amazing. And for some reason, you just keep looking at, just go to themorningmeetup.com and get in the circle. And then you'll be like way happier. Just themorningmeetup.com. Let's get back to the episode.
So the whole idea was to, I love the subscription-based model for every business, like Netflix, Hulu. Who else is subscription-based? You know, it's common now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think product or service should be able to add that. Everybody should have a subscription base, you know, like morning meetup subscription base.
Maybe though. But because, I mean, yes, that's easier in your line of work because you detail cars, but you do the detailing, yes?
For sure.
So it's kind of, I mean, yes, if you're going to do it, it's good to have recurring revenue. You know that you're not just selling me one time.
Right.
You're selling me over and over again. The question is, how much money do you make and how you start scaling your time?
That's a great question. But the reason this idea came to me through our clientele, me and my partner, I had more than a handful of people tell me like, look, I'd rather just pay it, not even worry about it.
For sure.
Don't even think about it. Just come, boom, boom, such date every month.
Yeah.
I don't even want to think about it. So I was like, you know what? Why would I not give them what they want?
Yeah. Nah, that's good. That's good. Well, what were you charging them?
First, when we started off, we was just trying to build a clientele. We 2 months in. We was like, yo, we just need a clientele pop. So we was like 45, 50 a pop. We was going crazy. And then we like, yo, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So, you know, once we started building our value, we understand like, okay, we have something good going on. So we started charging more. And then
same, did the customers that you're charging more to, were they cool with the?
They were absolutely cool with it.
Okay, good.
I was scared at first. I said, look, I even had a whole pitch before I even got on the phone with a couple. I was like, look, like clientele is going up, demand is going up. You have to, raise our prices. They was, I bet, no problem. Gotcha. Even with a couple rental companies that we were Toro owners, even people with like luxury cars, no problem.
Are you hiring people now, or it's just pretty much you?
No, it's just us right now. We're actually gonna have to start hiring because we actually we work with Amazon DSP owners and we clean their vans.
Gotcha.
And we did that. We're looking to duplicate it again, get more contracts with DSP owners.
Yeah.
That's time consuming, so we're gonna have to delegate that.
Mhm.
So
Gotcha. Okay. No, I think it's a good model. It just depends. Like, so for instance, my situation, like my truck, it's $100, right?
mhm.
Are you saying, how often are you saying, because in my mind, I'm thinking recurring, oh, you're going to wash my joint every week, but would I pay $400 a month? I don't know. What would that recurring model look like? How many times a month? Or are you saying weekly?
Right. I'm sitting down with my partner, of course, but what I was thinking was I don't want to just have just a car wash experience. I want to be this like, yo, I can't wait to get my car wash.
Mhm.
Because it's not just a car wash.
Yeah.
This is a detail. This is, like this is something that you actually look forward to. I want to give our clientele an experience more outside of just cleaning a car. Because anybody could do that. There's a car wash every other corner. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I don't want to just be something that's just something you do occasionally.
Would I be your target market?
Oh, for sure.
Why?
Because people, I see that people have nicer cars. They tend, not saying that people who have like, not as nice cars, like don't take care of their cars, but they just don't care as much.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Was my car dirty?
No, I've seen it wasn't clean.
But
I've seen, man. You're gonna be surprised with people leaving their cars. Like, for instance, like what was the other day? Like clean up a crime scene, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, it was like that.
Like blood?
Yeah.
What?
I'll show you the video. I got something else too. I don't know.
Like real, like blood everywhere.
For sure. It was bullets in the windows. Yeah, this was like on the low, so I ain't even posted yet.
Yo, you cleaning up evidence, bro.
For sure.
That's crazy.
And they paid it. Hey,
you covered up crimes, my
the story behind that. The story behind that is crazy too. My man had called me. He was like, "Look, I got somebody for you." Boom, followed up with him, called him. I was like, "Look, we booked for today. I can't get you tomorrow." He said, "No, I need to clean today." I was like, "Well, I'm gonna have to squeeze you. I'm gonna charge you a little bit." I was like, "If I'm to charge, it's gonna be like $220, and that might be later on today." He was like, "If you come right now, I'll give you $350." Just the inside.
Drop
everything. Hey, look, I'm gonna have to push you back for later on.
Yo, we're gonna stop talking about this because I feel like you are an accessory right now, bro. It's just crazy. Yo, you can't judge. You don't know. It could have been, somebody had a nosebleed or something.
Hey, I mean, the evidence was there.
Or somebody, maybe a young lady was on a cycle or something.
Yeah.
We'll leave it right there.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gotta say nothing else.
Yeah, don't incriminate yourself, brother. All right, so here's the thing. The only reason I don't know if I'm your target market because I don't care about my car.
Mm.
And the only reason I had you details because you're my man. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna support his business. But how would you get somebody like me to want to continue to get my car clean?
I'll tell you what, the same way I even convinced you to even get your car clean. Remember, I don't think you remember we were talking. You were like, I don't even get my car clean like that. And I was like, how would you feel if your car was clean? You started thinking about it. It was like, yo, how much you charge?
Yeah. But it was really you asking.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure,
But, my God.
But I feel
which I probably would sign up for maybe like once a month or something like that.
Mm-hmm. But there are people that will pay for that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
There's people that will pay for that.
You should try it.
For sure.
You should go for it. Well, I mean, everybody car that you clean, that could be like the pitch, right? Like, yo,
sure.
You know what you should just ask? Like, yo, when do you want me to come back next? I'll just put it on my calendar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love sales.
Yeah.
So.
How many cars can you wash?
In a day?
I mean, period. Like, what's your capacity for?
Well,
like, what's your max out?
What's the most cars we did in a day? I think like 6. And that was like full details.
How much was that?
I can't remember. This is when we first started. We was charging like 45. So it wasn't a lot.
Dang. So you made, let's say like 50 times 6, that's $300 a day. To split between y'all two.
We do 6 cars. 600. And it's only gonna get more. But we just have to provide more value. I'm just thinking of more ways how we can provide more value.
How many days a week you work?
5.
And y'all
5,
work,
6.
and y'all do them together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, for instance, you're going hard and you max out at $100 a piece, 6 cars a day. That's $600 times 5. It's $3,000 a week. Minus expenses, I would imagine there might be, how much you think in expenses? Gas, supplies,
A week?
a week.
Say about from anywhere from 150 to 250.
No, I'm saying to make $3,000,
To
bro.
make
Gas is
3,000.
going to be
Yeah,
that.
gas is killer, especially in the truck.
Yeah, in the truck.
Yeah,
And then you
for
gotta get the
sure.
water. You gotta get
The
supplies.
water is on us. Supplies that lasts a long time. Like every month and a half, we have to re-up on supplies.
Let's say, for instance, every week, rags, towels, all that, gas. Your max is $3,000 in a week, which ain't bad. I mean, it's a 6-figure company, but at the end of the day, y'all are splitting that, so it's not really. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like you maxing out, you can make $3,000 a week working 5 days a week. Let's say out of that $3,000, it costs, I don't know, $500 in expenses that week, gas, food, whatever, right? So your max is $2,500 a month. I mean, $2,500 a week times 4 weeks is $10,000. Split between 2, $5,000 a week. I mean, a month.
That's where the Amazon play comes in from.
Mm.
So we did 25 vans, and it took us about 8 hours and 2 nights. It took us 2 nights to do 25 vans. That was 1,300.
So you can do more than 6 in a day.
That was vans though. That was straight. It's completely different.
Yeah.
How you clean them.
How much do they make? How much they pay?
How much they pay? Whatever I charge. So Sprinter vans was 45. It's mainly just pressure washer work. It's not like a detail.
Gotcha.
So what we was focused on is just getting more contracts with Amazon, because we can only do so many, like you said, we can only do so many cars in a day.
Mm-hmm.
But we get these contracts with these Amazon DSP owners. They need them vans.
What's DSP?
DSP, delivery service partners. So you know how like Amazon doesn't actually run their fleets.
Mm-hmm.
They have owners, logistic companies run the fleets. They just provide everything. So ultimately a franchise. Mm-hmm. So somebody had put us on. Man, shout out to that man. Put us on for real. But yeah, so anyways, so DSP owners, they need those vans cleaned every month. Like drivers are complaining.
How many vans is it?
I think the most, on average, every DSP owner has at least 30. The most I've seen somebody was 57. And that's a mix between Sprinter vans and box trucks and CDV vans. CDV vans are bigger than Sprinters, but they're smaller than box.
Can you make $1 million?
It's definitely possible. As many Amazon warehouses there are, I believe so.
Is that a goal for you?
The goal right now is just to get another contract. But the bigger picture is to get a contract with some franchises company and be partners with all the Amazons in Georgia, the East Coast. Like really scale this. This is scalable. Like,
can you make $1 million?
Absolutely.
In a year?
Absolutely.
You know how much that is every month?
Every month?
Yeah.
Isn't it 800, 900, something like that?
What?
No. I'm sorry. It's, how much is $1 million a year? Every month?
Take your time. 83,000.
83,000.
300. $33.
There you go.
34 cents. $83,000. You know how much that is a week?
No, how much is that a week?
About 20,000. Right now, your efforts, you're maxing out at 3,000.
Mm-hmm.
Got to multiply that by like 7. How you do that? Listen, if I was going to teach you how to make $1 million, would you give me 10,000? Like if I had a course teach you how to make $1 million a year, positive, you're going to make $1 million, would you give me 10,000? Of course you would. It's no brainer, right? So in a calendar year, we make 7 figures with the podcast. But there's 21 things that I extracted from that you're going to need to launch a podcast. But I only got time to give you 3 right now. One is you need a distribution platform. The distribution platform is what you upload your podcast to. That platform sends it to Spotify, Apple, Google Play, so that your supporters can actually listen to your podcast. You're also going to need a microphone. You need a really good microphone so it's crispy audio. And 3, you need an income strategy. This is not necessarily a hobby, unless you're going to make it a hobby. But I can teach you how I made the 7 figures with these 21 things. Now, the good news is you don't have to give me 10,000. My ebook is only $37, okay? So listen, go to podcastebook.com and get the 21 things that you need. And I can explain it in detail, all the things that you need, okay? Podcastebook.com. Let's get to the episode.
Scale.
That's
how do I scale?
Scale is a buzzword.
It is.
It's got to mean something to you.
Repeat the question so I know the answer.
How do you make $20,000 a week when right now your capacity is your capacity is 3,000?
Mm-hmm. I would have to look at the numbers, but it's gonna consume.
I don't know.
Right. I don't know yet.
But I think if y'all go have a conversation and sit down with a sheet of paper and a pen and map out what does it take for me to make $20,000 a week, it'll expand your mind and expand your thinking, and you'll realize that you can't do it with your hands. Right now, your whole model is based off you going to get contracts and then like filling it. You might not even necessarily have like a training program for people yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just, if I go get the contract, we'll make more money. But if you start thinking to yourself, how can I make $1 million? How can I make $20,000 a week? I think it's actually like $20,833, I want to say, per week. How can I do that? You start mapping it out, your brain it kicks into another gear because you just see something else. Also, we have to factor in, how can you do that based on like some of your spiritual goals that you want to do, you want to have? Remember we had that conversation. You're like, yo, how do I want to do more for the church, but I also want to like build my business. And you got to have that. It's only tough because you haven't sat down and thought about how to do it.
That is also correct. I know it's not going to take it from me. I would have to put this into plan where I can, where we can duplicate it. Like this is, SOPs, KPIs, like put the numbers down into place.
Yeah.
Like you said, and just create a plan.
But don't so right now, you're boxed into growing the thing that you're doing. But when you start mapping out based on like, let's say like some income goals and like the free time that you want to have, if you say, how can I create this income living the lifestyle that I want to live, and you throw out the window what you're currently doing and saying, how can I get to this goal? What I'm saying is, I don't want you to be boxed into how can I grow the thing that I'm doing? Because you might say to yourself, yo, we're switching the model. We got 1 contract. Our goal is to go get 5 contracts, but not so we can wash cars. Our goal is to get contracts and then sell contracts. Because I don't got to do the work. I just have to set you up to go get the money. Or I have these contracts and I'm going around getting a whole Rolodex of people who do detailing, and that's now my market. Not me actually washing, but it's not going to happen if you don't start thinking through, how can I have this lifestyle, not what you're doing right now. Come on. Yo, bro, you at the door? I'm about to unlock it. That make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Brandon up there.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so don't put yourself into a thinking box of how do I grow this thing. The real goal is how do I live this life, and let me re-engineer what I have to do to live this life, not to because the thing that you're doing might not give you the life that you're looking for.
True that.
And you keep trying to figure out how to grow this thing, and it's almost like you want to do this with your life. And you keep growing the business, and the more you grow the business, the further away it takes you from the life that you want. But you keep forcing it because you think that one day This is going to afford me that, but it's like so far away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
what made, in your business, what happened in your life that made you realize, like, okay, I can do this by myself?
I was running the numbers. So there was a financial goal that I had. And with that financial goal, my initial thing was t-shirts. I'd also X amount of t-shirts. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I can't hit this goal myself without running myself crazy. And I'm not necessarily a natural salesman, so I'm not like knocking on all doors and all that kind of stuff trying to make some money. So there were some people that were interested in the brand, and they started selling them in their city. Hey, yo, how much can I get them for wholesale? Bet. Because the same day, let's say it's a Wednesday, I'm selling shirts. There's somebody in New Jersey selling shirts too. It just doubles my efforts. But it's going to be based on, because if the goal is like, how do I sell more shirts? Like just that language takes me further and further away from me being able to like relax. How do I sell more shirts? The real goal is, how do I make this certain amount of money? So I transitioned from selling t-shirts to like to a book, right? Because I had a certain goal. I wanted to make money. I don't care how I did it. Whether it was t-shirts, socks, book, I don't care how I make the money, but I want to make the money. So I was like, yo, when people buy t-shirts, if I don't have their size or the color that they want, they don't buy. But everybody kept asking me, you know, how'd you build your business? How you become an entrepreneur full time? So I wrote a book, and that book is everybody's size. And with t-shirts, I got to print a bunch of different designs and a bunch of different sizes and a bunch of different colors. One book. I ain't got to worry about none of that. Like if I know an order comes in for a book, I just ship it out. That's less steps than, oh, this shirt, I got to find this one, this size, pack it, put it here. I pre-packed all the books because I want my time now. So that's why I wrote the book, and then I started going into speaking. I'm like, oh, wow, this is different. For me to make $2,000, I have to sell 100 books. As a speaker, for me to make $2,000, I just have to speak for 60 minutes. At that time, I said, oh, I like the speaking thing. Yo, I just get to make the same amount of money in much less time. So I go into speaking and coaching and content creation, and here we are.
Less time, because we had a conversation before. How do we make money, make more money in less time?
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Or he might have a goal. He might have like, you might be in this because you fell into it. He might be into it because this is what he does now. And now his mind is thinking, how can I make money on this playing field? But once you like start mapping out what you want your life to look like, tomorrow you might say, yo, we're not washing cars no more. I'm doing this.
I want to invite you to pick my brain.
Mine too. Mine too.
Yours too?
Mine too.
Yours too. Okay, you guys. We are so excited because we just dropped our newest podcast series called the Brain Picker Podcast. David.
Oh, it's going down. You get to pick our brain. You have a business idea, a concept. You're stuck. You can't get off the ground. You need the advice of seasoned, experienced entrepreneurs. Not only entrepreneurs that are practitioners, but we got a lot of people that we've been coaching all over the last decade.
All over the globe.
That got receipts.
Not just that, you never know where your next investor might be hanging out, and the word on the street is we got all the connections.
That's a big fact.
We got all the connections. So if you want to sit down with us and pick our brains
in front of our audience,
and we're letting you pick our brains, we won't even talk bad about you for doing it in front of our audience, bringing your business maximum exposure. Find the link somewhere around here, wherever you see it.
It's there.
And apply
right now
to pick our brain.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.